Okay, let's start with opening statements. And what I'll do is we'll just kind of work our way to the middle. So give one to Ryan and give one down there to the seat number 12.
Thank you.
All right, you're only going to have a minute. Can you do it? I know you can't do it in a minute.
I'll just talk about water for a minute.
Okay, all right. Hang on. Let's give us 1 second to get the timer ready. Okay. We're going to try and move kind of quick. Thank you.
Got to take command sometimes.
Already. All right. If you would, obviously state your name, what you're running for, and then just however you want to use your minute after that, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're on.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. For those who don't know me and for those who do, I'm Ryan Tubbs. I am currently the incumbent mayor. I was elected in 2023. This is my daughter, Cora, right here cheering me on. So thank you for being here. Thank you. I think my other daughter's upstairs up there hiding out, Aria, and then my wife, Carmen. So without their support system, it's something we couldn't do. I really appreciate my family being involved as much as I am. So as we look forward to the next 3 years, I think it's an exciting time to be in Celina, from our business growth to really being able to work on infrastructure downtown, lay new miles of streets, new water infrastructure, new parks. We have Wilson Creek going on and Owsley Park. So just an exciting time to be here.
All right, very good. I tell you what we'll do at, say, 15 seconds. Yeah, he'll kind of let you know that we're kind of coming close to the end there. All right, you're up, Eric.
My name's Eric Becker. Our family's lived here now for 20 years. When we came here to Celina, we got involved right at the bat. It's what we truly believe in as actually a family. I think the next 3 years in Celina, like we've been doing, are very critical years. We've said it each actual race at every time that they all are. And while many people are going to agree, everyone up here is going to agree that roads and infrastructure and water is all the most important things here. I think keeping Celina, why everyone moved here, needs to also be there.
Okay, we're going to jump down here. Cameron, you're up. You guys, whenever you say your name, say what seat you're running for, please, if you will.
All right, I'm Cameron Riggs. I'm running for Celina ISD Board of Trustees, place number 3. Wife and I moved here in 2018. I've got 3 kids, one going to freshman, twins going into 2nd grade. The reason I'm running is to keep Celina, keep our small town Christian values, safety, transparency, and trust. So that's about all I got to say about it.
Short and to the point. All right, Vicki, are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
The decisions we make today will shape the future for our students for a lifetime, and we have to get those right. I am Vicki Hogue. I am a mom, a longtime volunteer, as you can see, and I am running for place 3 school board. I have poured my heart into this community because, like you all, I want exceptional schools to have my kids go to, and a great place to raise my family. I have volunteered for years, and I show up to every school board meeting because as a parent, I want to really understand how those decisions are made. But as a candidate, I want to really be able to step into the role and be prepared to go. Professionally, I lead food safety and quality for Pizza Hut across multiple continents. I do a lot with risk assessments, putting policy in place that really shape the way we do things globally.
All right, Vicki, sorry, that minute goes fast, I know. All right, let's jump back down here to the left now. Shane, you should be up. You got it, Mike.
Hello, I'm Shane Lambert. My name is Shane Lambert. I'm running for City Council seat 5. I've lived in Celina. This September will be 7 years. I have my parents who are here to support me. Thank you very much, Rod and Donna. And I have my children live with me, and then I have a niece and some great nieces that live here in the community. The reason I'm running is because I've spent 25 years as a restaurateur, the last 7 years in the alcohol and drug recovery sector. And what I basically do is mentor people and on recovery and restoration. And it's just really driven with me a servant heart. I really feel it's part of who I am, to want to help people and be there for people. And I've served the last 2 years, as far as experience goes, on the Economic Development Corporation, where I've been able to be a part of the decisions made. And I just want to bring that experience to help Celina to grow and protect its charm.
All right, very good. Brent, you're up.
I'm Brent Beatty. My wife and I, Rachel, y'all probably know her more than you know me. We moved here about 16 years ago, and we're so fortunate that we did. It's such an incredible community. And 10 years ago, we invested in that community by opening up Annie Jack on the square. That's been a tremendous experience for us, and we have a unique perspective, I think, as far as living in Celina. We lived first in Carter Ranch, then Life Farms, and then 3 years ago, we remodeled a 1912 home on Elm, Ohio. And so now we live downtown, and we love it. We love the community. We love the atmosphere and the spirit of Celina. And I want to, as far as being a part of the leadership and decision making, to make sure that as we grow, and we're going to grow, that we keep Celina the way we all love it.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go down to this end. David, you're up, buddy.
Okay, you got me. We got me. So my name is David Hogue. I'm running for place 4. As Vicki said, if you can tell, we're dressed up today because we were at Touch a Truck. I'll share with you that typically I'll put in 1,000 hours a year with the city for volunteer work. Vicki and I enjoy giving back to the community. As she mentioned, or she did not mention, I'll say that we've had one graduate go through CISD, and we have a freshman in the band there today. My background, I've had over 3 decades with PepsiCo. I lead all capital projects, so multi-million dollars of infrastructure components and large-scale projects I get to lead. When I look around and I look and see you folks standing out here, Celina's growing at an exponential growth. Do we have the right plan in place for that with the district? I have the experience that says I can help you in that department.
All right, very good. Aaron, you're up.
Hello, my name is Erin Norris. I grew up here in Celina. We'll back up. I'm running for place 4 for school board. I grew up here in Celina. I graduated from Celina. My dad and my sister are here today to support me. And after here, we get to go straight to the ballpark where we all coach my 6-year-old's t-ball team. My other children and husband are at the ballparks playing games this afternoon, so they weren't able to make it. But I'm running on faith, family, and accountability. Faith being that I grew up in Celina, and as we are growing both in numbers and culture, I feel like it's important that we remain rooted in our faith, which is the understanding and love of Jesus. I believe in family. I believe that family has the right to speak up and be a part of the decision making for our students, whether that's academics or safety. And last, accountability. We have a big role. We have big seats, and it's our honor to be held accountable to Celina ISD for the things in place and to help hold each other accountable as well. Thank you.
All right, very good. Shay, do you have a microphone? All right, you're up.
Thank you for coming out. My name is Shay Scott. I'm currently running for Celina Council Place 4. I moved here in 2014. I started working in Celina in 2006 for the Celina Police Department. Rose up through the ranks all the way to assistant chief. And the reason I'm running today is to continue that leadership on Celina City Council. I have a lot of knowledge of how the city works, how municipal government works, and I think that will help me lead in the council. That's why I'm my wife, Jessica.
Yeah, smart man right there. All right, very good. Is that it, Shay?
Yes,
Done?
I'm sorry.
All right, very good. All right, Katie, you're up.
All right, I am Katie Dunn. I am running also for City Council Place 4. We own Little Wooden Penguin and Nowhere Bar on the Square. My husband Taylor is here. My kids, 2 kids, 3 and 11, are Touch a Trucked out, so they are not here with us right now. Um, but yeah, we opened our business during COVID and really saw how important it was to have strong leadership that understood what the community needs. And so it really made me get involved. And since then, I have been, we started the Celina Local Business Alliance. I am on the chamber board. I'm on the Celina Education Foundation. I'm deeply involved. I'm an advocate for really anybody. I'm from residents to businesses. I have a voice. I enjoy using it. And that is why I'm running for city council.
All right, guys, you don't obviously have to participate in this next little part, but it's important to me. And what I'd like to do is have a quick little prayer. Okay, so if you choose to join me, Lord, we love you, we praise you, and we thank you. Thank you so very much for this opportunity to bring all of these people together, both the candidates and the people who care enough to be here today, Lord. We appreciate, respect, and love each and every one of them. It takes an entire community pulling together just like this, Lord, to fulfill your purposes and your plans. And Lord, we just love you and praise you. And thank you for blessing us with the kind of talent that we've got sitting up here in front of us, the kind of experience and the hearts of each of these who would serve, Lord, if they're given the chance. Father, in the name of Jesus, we pray today. Amen. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks. And have a good day. Just kidding. All right. Now we're going to bounce around. We're not going to just do, you don't have to sit here and go, man, I really only care about like the mayor. I only care about the school board or whatever. We're going to bounce around a little bit. We're going to do the 1 minute. So it's going to be fast. It's going to be pretty rapid. And if you think about it, one question, if we went all the way down the line, that's 10 minutes, not including the amount of time to hand the microphone off and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to try and blaze through this as quickly as we can. So let's start, Katie. We'll start with you, okay? Right in the middle, and then we'll kind of work our way that way. Yep. I'll bounce around a little bit. Generally, the microphone will go that way, okay? All right, so first question. Should the city do a moratorium or help the city play catch-up, or to help the city play catch-up on critical infrastructure? And that is a citizen's question.
Explain, run it one more time.
Literally, should the city do a moratorium to help the city play catch-up on critical infrastructure?
You mean like a moratorium on permits?
Correct, on building, on permits.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, I definitely do not think that's a great idea. We saw what happened in, I believe it was, what was it, down the road, it was on 380. I think it creates more of a Preston, or is it? Princeton, right? Okay, thank you. I think that creates more of a backup than solving the problem. I think that we need to think more about how we're running permits, what the process is, and put more work into helping our city staff do their job. I don't think telling them to stop do their job is ever a good idea. But I understand the need to catch up on infrastructure, and I think that we all are really focused on how we make that happen, but I would not recommend a moratorium.
I also don't agree so much on the moratorium, but there is going to be a lot of catch up, and the infrastructure all the way from how far we are behind on things such as pay for public safety. We're growing at about 25%, annually, but the staffing, the pay, those are all around 10%. And as this continues to go, we're going to have this huge catch up over and over and over to the point where we just can't get caught up. And so, yes, there are things that need to be done. Exactly how they need to be done, I'm very open to, how the city leadership presents those solutions to us, and then we make those decisions based on what city staff presents to us. But yes, it needs to be done.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the worst thing to do. To stop the economic engine that we have going here in Celina would be a huge mistake. There are a lot of challenges that we have as far as catching up with infrastructure. But the bottom line is that if we want to continue to broaden our tax base and then ultimately reduce the tax burden on the citizens, we're going to have to continue to develop commercial and retail corridors throughout Salina, whether it's Preston Road, to the toll road. We need significant commercial and corporate investment in Celina to continue our growth and to continue to develop the infrastructure that we need. So it's a balancing act. It's something that's that can be challenging at times, but I think a moratorium would be a horrible.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the moratorium is a no for me. And the reasons why are that if there's a bag of taxpayer money and we're already a little bit overburdened on our property taxes, the fewer that contribute to that bag, the more each taxpayer has to pay into that bag. So yes, continuing to allow development to occur, the right types of businesses in the right locations, protecting downtown, the outside corridors mentioned, that's important. But what city council needs is a thoughtful mind that has experience in understanding reading financial statements, because these businesses that apply, they give you pro formas and budgets. And I've seen a lot of them that make no sense. And all we would be doing is over incentivizing a failure. So what we do need is not a moratorium, but a city council that understands how to read and interpret financial statements and pro formas and make good decisions on who is coming and where they're located.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Down to our mayoral candidates.
Well, it sounds like we might end up all of us agreeing, because the answer to the moratorium is no. It doesn't solve anything. It just creates a massive backlog in actually projects, and doesn't at the end of the day doesn't solve the actual problem itself. It's got to be solved through our existing permitting office and development services. As someone who does in fact work with them quite often on the actual business side of things, there are improvements to actually be made there. They're making great headway, but there's still plenty to actually be done there, as well as tidying up the zoning and fixing that piece of it, and then working with the existing entitled properties to get those back in check.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so when it comes to a moratorium, just to explain it a little bit further, in the last 89th legislative session, the state legislature actually changed how that works. You have to go through multiple public hearings. That's going to take 3 to 4 months before you implement it. And then you're only able to implement a moratorium for 6 months every 2 years. So in essence, there is no teeth to a moratorium. It doesn't do anyone any good because really you're just trying to turn off the spigot. And can you ever get it turned back on? We have a lot of private investment coming in right now, and that's something we really need to capitalize on for the future. So I would be a no on any kind of moratorium.
All right. Very good. Let's see, where are we at down here? Aaron, I think, yeah, Aaron, and then we'll go with that direction. So you're going to get the first ISD question. Yeah, no, since we can't go back out, I don't know. I'm trying to be fair. Okay. All right. Encore, you ready?
All right, Aaron. So there's a growing concern that removing books from school libraries can reduce access to critical resources, especially for students who may not have support or information available at home. How do you plan to ensure all students still have access to the knowledge and perspectives they need? Is the light?
Hello.
You're good.
It's a great question. I am learning. This is my first time to run and be involved, but from my understanding, the books that are being removed or have been removed are because they are not appropriate for children. So I think first and foremost, that was a good move to make. We should remove books that are not appropriate for children. And I think that understanding that, coming from parents who are upset, I'm actually very proud for Celina. They listened to what parents said. They looked and they examined parents, teachers, people were giving input, and we reacted to that. And I think that was wonderful. If parents choose that they want their children to read inappropriate things, they can go to a different library. They can go find that in a different way. The things that we are giving our children, the curriculum and access to books, should be good. They should be beautiful.
Thank you.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a growing concern that removing books from school libraries can reduce access to critical resources, especially for students who may not have support or information available at home. How do you plan to ensure all students still have access to the knowledge and perspectives they need?
So I think that internally, if you go and you take a look at the new schools that we're building, there are technologies available that will be built into those systems. As a board, I would think that we wholeheartedly go in and put digital capability inside of those things so that they do have readily available books to read, access to those books, or access, within the school district that can go get those things. So again, I think the way I would respond to that is we would go and support the district on applying new and different ways of reading, if you would, and had new technologies to get that base repopulated.
Right. Appreciate it, David.
The ISD has a fantastic academic team, and they're doing a great job of educating our students. They also recently put together a library board to look at exactly that, the books that are coming in. So they're being proactive, and that's what we need to be proactive for our students to make sure they have the right things in place so that they're educated and there's no limits. And today they're doing that. You can see that as you sit in the school board meetings and see some of the great work that's already being done by our administration team. They're looking forward, they're being proactive, and they're making the changes that they need to make to ensure that our schools aren't limited, our students aren't limited, and they're getting a great education despite whatever comes their way.
Appreciate it.
All right, I agree with everything they said. Everything's going electronic, technology. Every kid's got a laptop. They're going to find the books they need to be able to use. I agree with Aaron. The books that shouldn't be there don't need to be there. Students don't need to be learning that. And you don't just have to learn from a book. There's a lot of things you can learn outside of a book. They can go out and do extracurricular activities, FFA, band, stuff like that to keep learning stuff as well. Just because it's in a book doesn't mean you can't learn it from another teacher.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Who's got the microphone down here? All right, so we're just gonna, I know you got the last question, but we're just gonna move back this way now. It's just gonna have to kind of be the way it works. So Celina loves our downtown. How can we evaluate whether current and future spending on downtown has been appropriate compared to other city needs?
Yeah, I think when we formulate a plan, so for those who don't know, we put together a 5-year capital improvement program that lays out the estimated amount of tax that we're going to come in all of our different sources, whether that's sales tax or property tax. And then that basically creates your pie. You can slice your pie up any way you want it all, but making sure that downtown's a part of that, that public safety normally takes up about 50% of that pie. We have debt service inside of that and all the different areas. So working with the rest of council, making sure that everybody has a voice, we've ensured that downtown is a priority. Based off of the amount that downtown has put in, we're actually putting a greater amount into downtown than the downtown residents pay in. But I think it's very important to look at the lack of infrastructure, the lack of priority that's been paid to roads, water, sewer, drainage downtown, and get that up to par of where we want our downtown to be 50 years from now, 100 years from now. A lot of the projects that we're doing are basic infrastructure.
All right, Eric. Question again. Celina loves our downtown. How can we evaluate whether current and future spending on downtown has been appropriate compared to other city needs?
So I think it's simple. The expenditures that are happening in downtown now and that are going to happen that actually need to happen are going to be over and above anything else. Downtown has been ignored for an extremely long time. The residents of downtown shouldered the majority of the actual early growth on them, and there wasn't anything spent. So the time is now to go back and actually improve the roads, the actual sidewalk and infrastructure.
Very good. Do you need the question again or no?
So a key word that sticks out to me in the question, and I assume this comes from one of our residents, right, is the word evaluate. So it sounds to me like our community wants to make sure that we are evaluating, making good decisions, and that they know where those decisions are coming from. So I'm going to start off right away with transparency and communication. That needs to happen. I think we do a job of that. The master plans are available and people can see what we're doing. that needs to continue. And I think that council members and mayors, they need to have open lines of communications and forums for people to ask questions and have them answered honestly. As far as priorities go, for me, the priorities are on the infrastructure. I've heard that a lot, but it's true. We have dilapidated sidewalks, roadways. We're making some progress with parking, but this city needs to have a good foundation to continue to build upon, and that would be my hope.
Yeah, I mean, downtown is the absolute jewel of this community. And I think the investment that's been made is appropriate. And I think that the master plan, the downtown plan, is a great guidepost for us moving forward. Obviously, conditions change, business conditions change. I think the feedback from the Downtown Business Commission is important. That's a very important organization that gives you kind of the heartbeat of how businesses are doing downtown. We do have challenges, infrastructure, sidewalks, all of that. But one of the ones that we have the most right now is power. And we really have to solve that. I mean, we spend and people invest in their businesses downtown, and we call it our crown jewel, and we put all of these resources to it. And then we fumble because we can't have power. So I know the city is involved with that, but I think that that's got to be a number one priority for downtown is continuity of power.
Okay, very good. You've got a fan club. That's one more than I have right now, so you're doing good.
So basically, the downtown, yes, it has absolutely been in dire need of infrastructure repair, from sewer to drainage and all the different things that need to go with it. And I'm all for the plan that's currently in place to get downtown, all the infrastructure repaired. I'm for the plan to have the roads, the city's streets downtown paved to concrete, but I also believe that needs to be done in a fashion to where we start with streets that are in the worst condition, work on those first, and go through the plan, and then, like we said, be transparent about what is next, what the project, and how we're spending that money for downtown, and that it is going strictly for that infrastructure.
All right, very good. Katie?
Yeah, I think looking at it in terms of evaluation to comparison, right? If there's any other space or neighborhood in Celina that is worse off than the downtown, I'd love to hear it, because I think that's sort of our point, is that it's not just the downtown specifically. We're talking about neighborhoods, people who are trying to walk the potholes. I mean, it is a long time coming to get the things fixed here, but I think that it's always worth evaluating is who's next up, and when are we being proactive about who's coming up next, what's going to start aging out, so everything is really being beautified. I think the goal is not to be consistently dumping money into downtown every 2 seconds. It's let's get it caught up. Let's get it to where the people living in downtown they don't have a developer coming in and working on their homes. They're not, we've been shouldering the cost of a lot of this. So yeah, I think in comparison, it's important to evaluate comparatively across the board how we're all looking.
All right, appreciate it. Now we're going to move on to some controversial questions regarding some of the school board individuals. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with you, coming out a little bit hot. But with the recent events that have occurred within our school involving various staff, very serious allegations of sexual misconduct and alcohol or impairment-related situations, how do we regain trust in the community?
That is an excellent question. I believe in order, and I think God is a God of order, and outside of that, we find chaos. And I think that we need to reestablish order in our community top down, and that looks like transparency. Transparency is something that we hear of often, but we're not really seeing, and we don't feel that. So we need to hold the people who have the answers accountable. They need to answer to the things of why this is happening. I think for the moral issues that we're finding in teachers, those are terrible. But I would also like to say that our teachers are wonderful. The majority of our teachers are wonderful, like true angels in the community. So the few that have come out this year, it is important to expose that, and I feel like it has. But then what do we do from there? How can we ensure that we're not going to see more of that? How can we hire people? What is the accountability in hiring? And those are things that would be important to me coming into this seat to bring out. Thank you.
Appreciate it. David?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. With the recent events that have occurred within our school involving various staff and very serious allegations of sexual misconduct and alcohol or impairment related situations, how do we regain trust amongst the community?
So I think to dive deep, you got to get into the data, right? So we need to get in and bring in a technical advisory board, take a look at things that have happened, do some analyzing of that data, and then come back with a plan. And then inside of that plan, you come out with transparency. You come out with developing new tools so that you gain trust back within the community, and you reset the board and the CISD for, a very grounding application within the community where that trust is gained back. That, in my mind, is how you go back and repair some of the, the local damage that has been.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to have you repeat it one more time.
No problem. With the recent events that have occurred within our school involving various staff and very serious allegations of sexual misconduct and alcohol or impairment related situations, how do we regain community trust?
That's really a very important question, community and trust. It starts with listening, right? Everyone wants to be heard. When you have an opportunity to really share how you feel, and we need to really deeply listen. I think there's two sides, though. I think there's people that are really crying out, and then there's those people and those community members that are going to be a little more silent. What is that silence telling us? Are there community members that are looking forward for students and saying, hey, we have to move forward together. We have to partner and find a way to get past this and really build the trust? Or are we listening to just those loud voices in the background? So it's very important to really listen deep to understand where are we in the process of building trust. I think everyone wants to be heard. If you feel like you're heard and you're feeling the reaction, or you're getting a reaction back, then the trust becomes something that is built over time.
Thank you.
All right, of course, transparency. First thing we need to look at is the open and closed door meetings and what the state laws say. And if the state laws will allow us to discuss that in public meeting, then we need to do that. Listen to the parents, but don't just listen to understand them. Don't listen to just respond to them. Also, I said it last week, a PIO, a public information officer. Let's get that public information out there on Facebook, because guess what? Once it hits Facebook, we're all guilty until proven innocent, not innocent until proven guilty. So let's get ahead of it. Let's have those conversations, get it out to the public, and it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. Build that trust back together. I also think at some point, the lawyers have all this tied up. Let's let the lawyers handle this now, and let's start moving forward and look at the future.
All right, appreciate it. We're just going to quickly piggyback off of that. Some of y'all have already answered this, but we can start back to front again. So how do we ensure that similar situations do not occur in the future? What safeguards do we put in place?
Okay, a lot of that's going to start with our hiring capabilities. We really need to get the black eye off Celina and start opening up, get our reputation back so that people want to come, so that we can attract those good teachers. And then our HR department, let's really make sure our HR department does a good job, is very welcoming to those teachers. And we've got to vet them. We really got to vet them. I know they've started doing social media checks. We really need to do big time dig social media checks. If they won't sign a piece of paper saying, hey, you can dig through my social media, then we probably don't need to hire them, because there's something there they're trying to hide.
Thank you.
I'll have you repeat it one more time.
Hey, no worries.
Sorry.
How do we ensure that similar situations do not occur again? What safeguards do we have to put in place?
We have to be proactive. We certainly can't be reactive. What we're doing today isn't going to be enough for the future. We're growing quickly. So we need policies put in place, and we need policies that look toward the future, that don't just react, that aren't the similar things that we're doing day in and day out today. So we really need to be proactive about the policies, understanding what are our gaps, what are the misses that we had, and how do we close those quickly? And then putting our students first and foremost behind every decision. Are we making sure that our students are first when we're making decisions as we look forward? That if we put students first, that eliminates half the problem, right? Making sure that every decision is backed up and we're putting our students at the first and forefront of every decision that we're making. Proactive and making sure we're doing decisions that help us be responsible well into the future.
Thank you.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Sure. How do we ensure that similar situations do not occur again? What safeguards are we have to put in place?
So I think we're all going to probably say something very similar in that we're going to look at policies. We're going to do a little bit more grinding with our HR partners. But I guess what I'd also put up is from a corporate world, a technical advisory board, someone who we bring in some SMEs, so some experts that can help us develop stronger policies, stronger safeguards within the district itself. And then we may use a RACI matrix, so a clear, comprehensive layout of who's in charge, what happens, who answers what question, and where those safeguards go. I think just some new thinking out of the box and tightening up some of the policies that are in place today puts us in a much better place. Proactiveness, though, is going to be the key. We can't continue to react. We got to get ahead of the issues before they really start to fester.
Appreciate it.
Will you say it one more time for me?
Sure. How do we ensure that similar situations do not occur again? And what safeguards we have to put in place to make sure that does not happen?
I think rebuilding trust is essential. I think the people that are coming to Celina, we want to attract what we're putting out, which I think we are a community of grit and integrity and faith. And so those are the type of people that I hope would want to apply to Celina, people that would want to come work here, who aligns with our vision. And most importantly, we should care and look at children. I know that this part could be hiring and human resources possibly do better, and I think that we can. But also some of these things that happened were not new teachers. These were people who have been in the system for a while. I think that we need to be bold as a community. When we are seeing something that's not right, when we are seeing someone who's hurting, and these people who came to school intoxicated, if there were signs of this in their life, I think as a community, it's our not just our choice, that we should. For children, we should speak up when we're seeing something, we're seeing people hurting. So I would think, just speaking out as well is a big part.
All right, awesome. I think we're gonna tighten it up just a little bit. We're gonna do down city council to mayor for this next question, and we're gonna bring it down to 45 seconds. We're gonna move a little faster. Or I'd do 30. Y'all want to do 30? Well, let's get crazy up in here. Who says we don't know how to party at our candidate forum? All right, we're gonna do 30 seconds. That'll be a test. All right, here we go. I don't know if I'd want to try and do that. All right, let's see. What are your plans to help improve east-west mobility in Celina? Examples would be Legacy, Glendenning, GA Moore.
Yeah, if I told you that I have a plan for how to do roads and traveling and where people are going, I would be totally stupid. I think it's really leaning into the people that we pay to do this. They're very smart people, taking their feedback. This is what they plan to do, and then putting that up against what we have financially able to do that stuff.
All right, very good. Remember, guys, whenever we kind of motion to you, it's 15 seconds from the end. Okay. Do you want another few seconds? Okay. All right. Okay. Shay?
So to my understanding, there currently is a plan to get the east-west corridor to relieve that traffic. It takes 20 minutes to get out of Celina to get up to 380. And the project on that, I fully support it. We got to get the east-west corridor so people can move traffic.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, I would echo what Katie said. I mean, obviously GA Moore, and we got the outer loop, and there are other plans in place, but I'm not the expert on it, but I do make good decisions. So I would lean heavily into our experts in the city as far as what the best options are for developing an east-west transportation.
Very good. Thank you.
One of the biggest obstacles is the lack of bridges on east and west, and I would immediately propose setting aside funds on a 5 and 10 year plan. Those funds are set aside to build one bridge at a time.
Thank you.
As others said, the plan's already in place for the actual improvements to be done, supporting those and actually continuing on those. But the biggest thing is, as mayor, that's not your job to decide where roads are built. It is, you are here to actually support the actual staff in place.
Very good. All right, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's incumbent upon council to set priorities. So in turn, we can put that money towards roadways. We can put that money towards parks. So I think a lot of it comes back to priorities. One bridge, for instance, when we did Frontier, that was about $32 million. The bridge is about $20 million. So when you talk about 3 different bridges, here we need to come up with $60 million. I think you put into a sinking fund, maybe $5 million, $8 million a year. And then once there's enough funds, then you go ahead and fund those projects.
All right, very good. We actually got an answer in less than 30 seconds from the mayor. We're doing good. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and run right back down. So next question, should new large developments be approved before roads are funded and scheduled? Let's see, hang on. I didn't write this, so let me understand what they're trying to say. Should new large developments be approved before roads are funded and scheduled that can handle the added capacity? Okay, does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, so I think you look at what we did with Rainwater Crossing. This is GA Moore going east out to Coit. As part of that development agreement, we required them to build 2 lanes of concrete in their first phase prior to opening. So those are the kind of strategic decisions when you look at going into an agreement with a new development that they have to build the roadways first. And then outside of that, make sure that the obligations are laid out in the plan development contract so that as each phase comes online, then the traffic impact analysis matches what roadways need to be built.
All right, thank you, sir.
Did you good question again?
Absolutely. Let's see. Should new large developments be approved before roads are funded and scheduled that can handle the added capacity?
So I think that goes back to the actual DAs. When I said I'm playing on zoning, we went through these and had made them in place then. It's having the developers be responsible to build the roads that are going to actually feed them, as well as putting surplus cash aside that the actual city does to be able to finish the roads.
Okay.
Right. So should development be approved prior to roadways? The answer is no. And there needs to be collaboration between TTA, the city, and the county, and the developer to make sure that that is occurring properly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think it's negotiated up front. I think you have an understanding with the developer, fully identify what they're responsible for as far as infrastructure and roads. I think they can be done concurrently. I don't think it's, we can't move forward with the development until we have, infrastructure in place. It just doesn't work that way, but it's negotiable, and we need to be very good at those negotiations with developers.
Awesome, thank you, sir.
Yes, I believe the same. Before it is approved, there needs to be a plan that the developer is going to pay for that infrastructure, that road coming through there, along with other infrastructure needs, water, everything else that goes with it. That needs to be done before it's approved.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Katie.
Yeah, development needs to pay for itself. If they're going to come in, you're going to set up a large development, then you need to pay for the impact that's going to have across the board for everything, and needs to be set up by the developer coming in doing it. So no, we do not need to be funding any roads leading into it. It needs to be handled with the development that's coming in.
All right, very good. I like this 30-second thing. This works good. All right, where are we at?
Alrighty, back to the school board. I'm going to start out with you again. Maybe we have 30 seconds. What immediate areas of improvement do you see for the school district as a whole?
I mean, first and foremost is we need to look at our school board, we need to look at our superintendent, and we need to demand accountability among what is being said. Like Cameron said, what is going into closed meetings, what can and cannot be said. And a lot of the community doesn't understand, and we don't know. So we come time and time again to these meetings and wait for something to be said. And it feels like we are not getting the answers that we deserve as a community, as parents deserve as a community for the children. So I would say demand accountability, and let's just not talk about transparency anymore.
Thank you. I got you. What immediate areas of improvement do you see for the school district as a whole?
So I would say we need retention. So we need to have a great policy, a great program that will contain and be able to bring fresh new teachers into the district. As fast as we're growing, we don't have enough teachers. Our median, we're 4% lower than salary-wise across the board. We need to have a better package for our teachers and take care of those teachers so they take care of our kids.
Thank you.
I echo what David said. Our teachers are our most important asset. They're the ones working with our students, and we need to make sure we are leading the way with pay and making them a priority and showing them how much we care. They're the ones doing the work, and today, if we're not leading the way with pay as we grow, it is going to be very difficult to retain good teachers and to recruit new ones.
Appreciate it.
Safety, transparency, trust. We have to build that back. Then we've got to look at our infrastructure. We're growing leaps and bounds, and students are coming faster than we can collect money because the housetops, rooftops don't pay as much as the commercial buildings. So working with the city to get that done.
All right. We're going to do one more. Keep that mic in your hand, brother. If you had an unlimited ISD budget for the next 3 years, what are the top 3 items on your list that would receive that funding?
Well, I'd move to Hawaii first. Top 3 items would be teacher pay. I would start right there. And then technology for kids. There's a lot of things out there that we could help improve their learning capabilities. And then from there, it would be more infrastructure.
Very nice.
Give it to me one more time.
Sure. If you had an unlimited ISD budget for the next 3 years, what are the top 3 items on your list that would receive that funding?
Well, I already talked about the first, and that would be teachers and administrations, because they all need to be paid, and we need to be leading in that. And student CTE programs, really digging into that, making sure that we have construction, EMT, and nursing and programs that they can really go into. And then being an agriculture major, would love to see more in agriculture.
If you had an unlimited ISD budget for the next 3 years, what are the top 3 items on your list that would receive that funding?
So the top 3 items on the IT budget, that's the question, correct?
ISD.
Oh, ISD, fantastic. So we have a bond in place. So we have schools, we have brick and mortar, that's coming to us. So we check that box. We go back to our teachers who we want to love being here. We've got to improve that package. That thing has to be where they feel the love, they feel like they want to come back. The last thing I would say is we've got to go back to anything that supports the district and whole, whether it be a community room or a district stadium, my friend.
Appreciate it. Perfect. Keep it easy.
Yes. Okay. My top would obviously be for teacher pay as well. We're below. And I know, Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Are you good?
Sorry.
You're good. Ready?
45
I'll give you.
seconds. I'm so sorry.
No worries. On your mark,
Okay,
whenever you're
I'll
ready.
hold it lower. So teacher salary. We want to attract like-minded people, and I think we have to start with teacher salary, getting what they need, and we are below, like David said, 4%, even with our surrounding neighbors. Next is we have so many people moving to Celina, lots of different cultures, lots of different people. I would say to give children that are coming here also the opportunity. They might not be into sports, they might not be into the same thing as we are, and just opening that idea for them. And third, I would say safety. We've had a lot of safety issues this last year, and I think financially it's something.
All right, thank you. All right, where are we at? 80? All right, let's see. Where did it go? So, really, really good question. If I can keep the microphone turned on. More. Okay. All right, what are your thoughts on giving taxpayer money to private small business for renovations, patios, and expansion?
Yeah, it's funny because I am a small business, and I think I really believe that we as business owners, it's our job to take the money that we have and work with it. Now, if the city and the staff and everybody gets together and says, we want to incentivize things that we would not normally get from another small business, and that's where patio grants or things like that can come into play. But I think they need to have very clear guardrails, and it's not just a free-for-all.
Very good.
I don't so much have a problem with the incentives for small businesses. One, for struggling ones for different things like when COVID happened. But second, the return on investment needs to be evaluated. We need to know that if taxpayer monies are going to fund these small businesses, that there is a return on investment and it helps the economy.
Yeah, my instinct is to limit that, but not necessarily prohibit it. In fact, our business was a beneficiary of the EDC and the city grants, so it was very important for us. We think it was a good investment, at least from the city standpoint and our standpoint. But I do think it has to be clearly directed and also limited.
I am against incentives that go for remodels and stuff inside of the four walls, furniture, coolers, things that the business owner should be responsible for. I am for incentives that collectively benefit the whole. For example, at the EDC, we passed a patio initiative where different businesses can apply for and receive grant to have their patios. There's some uniform standards, and it benefits the entire downtown, and it benefits those businesses for years to come.
Right, thank you, sir.
I'm in favor of those, but not for tenant.
So I think grants and incentives to small business, whether it be downtown or actually off the square, do make sense in certain places. As was said, inside the walls, that's not the place for it. It's the exterior. It is infrastructure. It's water line, sewer, and those items that are going to have an actual lasting effect.
Thank you, sir.
I think when you look at any type of grant, it's always about return on investment. In turn, if what is this grant going to give you? Is it going to give you more employees for that business? In turn, is it going to improve the physical space? We have some really old buildings downtown without that public-private partnership. In turn, a lot of these spaces wouldn't be viable. So I think it's really about that ROI and turning that for every dollar we get in, we're getting $2 to $3 back out that the EDC and CDC spend.
All right, we're going to do one more question. We'll just run down and we'll stop at school board. We'll take a quick break and come back and resume with school board after that. But I've got a question that kind of piggybacks on that. And that is, what criteria should be used when considering incentive agreements to large, like billion-dollar companies that are coming here? So thinking more in terms of like your Walmarts or Target or something like that.
Yeah, I think any incentive, again, is based off of return on investment. So when Walmart came in, we looked at how much their ad valorem value is, how much are they paying in property tax, how much are they going to get in sales tax, and in turn, making sure that that's performance-based. So we're not giving any cash up front. It's basically you earn what you kill, for lack of a better word. So we make sure that that money is coming back into the community, put guardrails around that to ensure speed to market, and make sure that the contract itself is budgeted.
Thank you, sir.
As actually Ryan said, so from an ROI standpoint, it's extremely important on those deals that you are getting paid back. But at the same time, you only really need to incentivize them, even on those deals, to come if you're trying to get them here first. So Walmart's already here. Target, for example, is going to show up next. You aren't required to actually do a deal.
Thanks, Eric.
Yes, the Celina of today is different than the Celina of yesterday. We needed to get some of the big box retailers in here to create a larger tax base, but we do not need to monetarily incentivize in the form of grants and that type of upfront money to those large businesses. As far as tax incentives over a period of time, I'm okay with that on certain calculated.
Yeah, I think the guardrails that we have in place are appropriate. I think you have to be strategic. I don't think you can just say we're not going to do this. I think you have to treat each one of these case by case and develop a package that's going to be an incentive to them, but it's not, like I said, it stays within the guardrails we put in place right now.
I do believe that most of these large, Costco's and different places, they're going to come here anyway. This is, the golden zone for these large stores. A lot of times there may not be those incentives, but it's definitely not, taxpayer-funded incentives. But I'm not opposed to all of them. They're on a case-by-case business, as they said. But more than not, I would be against a lot of the incentives on, taxpayer.
Appreciate it.
I look at it as making sure we're always going to be getting more than we're giving away. So if there's an incentive, if there's money behind it, whatever we're doing, then we need as citizens to know that we're getting more than what we gave away. Are they building roads for us? Are they doing things that would normally be on the backs of our taxpayers? That's what we're going to need in order to be giving any form of financial backing one way or another.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, guys. We're gonna take just a very brief break. We're gonna let's see. It's 3:02. Let's try to be back here. It's a 3:10. If you want to talk briefly, we're gonna have more time to talk with them. We're gonna go a little more town hall style in a minute too. So I know there's some questions out here with you guys, and we'll reach out to. We'll get those soon. But let's get back here at 3:10. Go grab a sandwich and come shake some hands. All right. If I remember right, Aaron, you're up, correct? Your turn? All right. Here we go.
All righty. How do we tackle the issue of new schools being built and the desire for everyone to still be called Bobcats? You are good to go.
I'm from here. I am a Bobcat. I get it. North, east, south, west, we're all Bobcats. No, I would say that if it was up to me, I would some way try to incorporate that, but I understand that probably isn't possible. And I'm just going to laugh with Ryan. As long as black's not in the equation, we're fine. We're all Bobcats at heart.
Appreciate it. How do we tackle the issue of new schools being built and the desire for everyone to still be called Bobcats?
You'd have to stop people from coming. They're not going to stop coming. The schools are coming. The kids are coming. Proactively, what I would say is we know when high school number 2 is coming. Get the kids that are going to be in there. Let's get them involved today. Let's go and get our community involved in what that process looks like. And it's fun. Again, I know we're Bobcats, but we need to be looking forward.
Thank you.
I'm an Aggie, so I understand how hard that is to separate. Once you're a Bobcat is very difficult, but I think the same as we grow and we add line with the community, get them involved, it makes it a lot easier. It would be fun to get the kids involved. I mean, what does it mean to them? What would they like to see?
Appreciate it.
Honestly, to me, there's no rules that we can't stay Bobcats. I mean, why can't we call it Bobcat North or Bobcat South? I don't think we should change it. As long as we keep the black color out of the uniforms, we'll be fine.
All righty. All right, we're going to run it back this way again. How do we deal with the growing situation where kids are increasingly dealing with personal identity crisis that seem to parallel the national emergence of this issue?
That is a very deep question. And somebody above my pay grade is going to have to be able to answer that correctly. My thought is really need to invest in our counselors because those could be the first people they go to. We also need to make sure we have that open door policy so that every teacher, every administrator, everybody around is open and willing to listen to somebody that has a problem and take them to the appropriate person.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to ask you to repeat.
No problem. How do we deal with the growing situation where kids are increasingly dealing with personal identity crises that seem to parallel the national emergence of this issue?
I think it's important that we focus on education and then allowing the tools. I think our teachers need tools too to make sure that they have the resources to go to understand what this looks like. As Cameron says, this is new, so we definitely aren't the right people to say we understand it fully, but getting the right people in place to help us understand that would be great.
Appreciate it. How do we deal with the growing situation where kids are increasingly dealing with personal identity crises that seem to parallel the national emergence of this issue?
So I think what we need to do is we're going to need to prepare our teachers. They're going to need to be, subject matter experts on this. So deep conversation, deep knowledge for our teachers so they can go identify those things, so they can proactively look at our kids and see signals that say they may need some help. That's what I would propose.
Thank you.
I disagree with that. I think that this is an issue with the home. I think if children are having these problems, that the home should be told, right? Parents should be included immediately in these issues. I also agree that counselors, as I learned at the last meeting, that we are down in the number of counselors of what we should be. We should have more counselors in place to help these children. And then at the root of it, we need to be honest with them. We need to give them truth and love. And yes, we can do that as teachers, but we should bring families back into this.
Thank you.
All right, where are we at, Katie? Okay, critical infrastructure in downtown has been neglected for more than 50 years. Should the city improve roads, sidewalks, and drainage downtown before building new roads to future developments?
I don't think that they are mutually exclusive. I think that we have a plan in place for where those funds go. And I think that the whole point is that we're constantly working different levers all the time. So I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I think both can happen simultaneously.
I also agree. I don't think they're comparable. I think, the developer's going to pay for those roads that we build out there. Downtown does need the repair. I just think that those infrastructure repairs need to be done before vanity projects.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. We can't, prioritize downtown at the exclusion of further development within the greater Celina area. So I think that it needs to continue. We need to continue on the path that we're on as far as the budget and the plan to improve the infrastructure downtown, but not at the exclusion of developments elsewhere.
There are different budgets and different monies set aside, and I'm going to go in a different direction. I think that the infrastructure of the existing absolutely should take precedent, because otherwise we're just continuing to build on unfounded ground, and then developers, as have been discussed and everybody agreed upon earlier, can bear the burden of the new roads and new development.
Thank you.
I think our taxpayer dollars need to be more focused on the existing infrastructure, whether it be downtown or in other areas that is actually dilapidated. And at the same time, though, we can also be using our funds to be handling existing roads and be able to connect them to actually improve improve quality of life for everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we heard around here for a long time that we were going to build 10 roads in 10 years. And that may be true, but come to find out there's actually about 30 roads downtown that you have to build over those 10 years. So City Council over the past year has sat down. We've prioritized a lot of these roads, put together, it's about a 12 to 15 year plan to come and add sidewalks to improve roadway, water, sewer, drainage while we're there, to be able to get downtown up to par. And then a lot of what everybody's repeated, developers should be responsible for new roads coming in.
Okay, we're gonna run back down this way. We're gonna cut it down to 15 seconds. Okay, yeah, we're gonna really put some pressure on now. You know what? I have to say that the Best of Celina community really stepped up. There was an overwhelming number of questions, and I'm sorry that we're obviously not going to be able to get to all of them. I couldn't even. I printed out, just the ones that sent them in basically first. I was receiving them as we were pulling in today, and there's just no way to get to all of those. So, anyways, let's cut it down to 15 seconds and see how we can handle that. If you go just a second or two over, it'll probably be okay. So complete your thought, but let's try to make it quick. All right, where are we at, Ryan? What are your thoughts on new development agreements that require eminent domain on existing homesteads to build roads and infrastructure to a new development?
Yeah, we've had about 300 eminent domain cases since about 2017. We've gone to eminent domain 8 to 9 times. I think everything should be done if it's a homestead to avoid someone's personal property. I am for eminent domain if it's for roadway, water, or sewer.
Thank you.
I think eminent domain should be used sparingly, only when absolutely necessary. But people's homesteads that they've had for a very long time should be off the limits.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, very sparingly. Roadways, sewer lines, things that are going to be necessary for the greater good of the community of the downtown, but very.
Yeah, eminent domain is a lever, a tool that's critical that you need to have, but it has to be used very judiciously and very seldom possible.
I agree 100%. It can only be used for absolute necessary infrastructure, roads, sewer, pipeline.
Thank you.
Yeah, necessary infrastructure, but I think homesteads is something that we should be like really, really careful about. That's a very scary, horrific thing to have happen to somebody's family. So I think that we really, that's a big topic, more than 15 seconds for sure.
We get the general idea though of whether or not you think it's, if you're kind of opposed to it or not. So thank you guys for that. Where are we at? Are we going back this way or are we going to school? No, I don't remember. Hey, did you start this round and did we come back to you?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're back. Back to Aaron.
We'll give you 15. Okay. How would you work to improve the ISD-city relationship as both grow substantially into the future? How would you work to improve the ISD relationship or ISD-city relationship as both grow substantially into the future?
I mean, open communication. I think that we should be open with our issues, open with our challenges, and being willing to hear amongst each other if we have ideas of improvement.
Appreciate it.
I'm not going to ask you. Informed, accountable, proactive. Let's get down those barriers. Let's come together with the community. Let's make the future happen.
Awesome. Thank you.
I am going to ask you.
No problem. How would you work to improve the ISD and city relationship as both grow substantially into the future?
I see them having a really good relationship. I'd like to maintain it and keep growing it strong. As a member of the Celina Education Foundation, we do a lot with the city. They're great partners. I'd like to just maintain that partnership and grow it more.
Thank you.
I think the ISD and city over the past couple of years have done a tremendous job of getting together and starting to work together because it used to not be that way. And if Ryan just won't work with us, I'll just come sit in his yard until he does.
Alrighty, we're gonna run it back. Overall, what grade would you give the current Celina ISD? And sorry, let me repeat that. Overall, what grade would you give the current Celina ISD? And what will that grade be at the end of your term if elected?
Grade overall or academics?
I think this question is referring to grade overall. So take everything into consideration.
I'm going to split it up. Sports, A. Academics, B. Community relationship, probably a C. We need to fix that.
Thank you.
I would say I would give it a B, and at the end of my term, it would be straight A's.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree there. I think it's going to be a B, and at the end of my term, I'd like to have the data analysis, but I'd like to say it was going to be a B+, that we would definitely make some forward progress.
Thank you.
I would say we're currently a B, and to mix things up, I'll maybe say B+. And at the end of my term, I'd like to believe it'd be an A++. I show up in excellence. I do everything to the best of my ability, and I like to believe that I will do that in this role as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We might need one of those.
Okay. All right. Ooh, I like this better. Okay. So I know a few of you have questions. I'd love to ask those questions. Would anybody like to be first man out of the door? Anybody? Okay. All right.
All right. So we heard we have a current 5-year CIP addressing downtown infrastructure issues. To accelerate that, would you support creating a PID, a public improvement district, for downtown to fund the extra cost, like many other areas of the city already have, or should the entire city's taxpayers bear that? That's
We'll do 20 to 30 seconds on these, but go ahead.
Okay, so I think I would, in turn, when you form a public improvement district, that would have to go to the voters. So I think we have so much money that we can put towards downtown. If we need above and beyond that, or in turn, if the downtown residents and business owners want it done faster, then I would support taking that to an election. This is a perfect example of a referendum where you go ask, would you like this, and let them vote on it.
Very good. Thank you.
I go in the case of if it can't be done any other way, you would bring it to the referendum and the vote. But for the most part, the actual citizens downtown have actually bared the overall cost of infrastructure and roads throughout all of Celina for years, and it's time to actually pay them back for that.
As a last resort, yes, but I would look more carefully at the current budgets and allocations of funds and try to fund it with what the government already has without taxing more. But yes, a public improvement district would be a way that would be acceptable to go.
I'd have to be convinced that we didn't have any other options, that if we had to go that way, it should be put up to the voters, for sure.
I agree. It's definitely would be a last option, but this is exactly what those public improvement districts are for, dilapidated areas that need the improvement, and it should go to the voters.
Yeah, last case scenario, and that we need to know that there was no other way that we could do what we're trying to do, but I think the voters deserve a say in it for sure.
All right, very good. Somebody else out here want to share a question? Okay.
Hi, I have a question for Mrs. Norris. Do you intend to enroll your children in CISD?
Thank you. Yeah, quickly.
I do not. If I haven't shared, I currently homeschool my 4 children, and it's because I love to. I've done this from the beginning. It's something I'm passionate about. It doesn't take away that I don't believe in public school. I'm a product of public school. I was raised here. I graduated from here. But just because you believe in something doesn't mean you can do something different.
Very, very good. Somebody else with a question? Y'all are going to make me come up with my own questions. No? Nobody? Okay. All right. I'm on my way. I don't move as fast anymore, so.
Two points. First of all, on the point about the road infrastructure redevelopment, I'm with Mangiamo, and when we met with EDC, it was told to us that this whole district was going to become pedestrian district, no automobiles. So I'm not sure why we would want to rip all this out. And part of the character of the old town and the charm, I believe, is the brick paver streets, cobblestone streets, etc. And certainly they need to be safe for walkers, for pedestrians. So I'm not sure that would be a good use of funds to rip all that out and redo it, and then go to a pedestrian zone only. The second question I have is relative to, as a business owner, the loss of power that we continue to experience in our restaurant. It's extremely expensive to us because we are a food service operation. And when we lose power like we did recently for over 10 hours, all that product goes away. It goes in the trash. So we've lost tens of thousands of dollars over these last, 14 months that we've been around, just because they can't keep the power on. So my question is to the city, to Mayor Tubbs, is it possible to meet with the power provider and see if there's a way that they could supplement our power when we have losses? I know that Encore had a meeting with business owners last week, and they went, la-di-da, 3 years, this and that, new telephone poles, etc. 3 more years of losses until things get improved. Why couldn't they possibly help us with a portable generator at each location, some sort of a support now to stop us from losses that we're incurring? Is that possible?
All right, so mostly aimed at Mayor Tubbs, is that correct? He's actually in office right now, so yeah, he can probably speak to it best.
Yeah, so I think when we look at working with Encore, for me, this started back in 2023, asking about an independent feed to downtown. So a lot of the improvements that they're doing, they've already been done, and a lot will be completed by this summer. Driving here on Preston Road today, I saw 6 trucks that are out working. The main feed does come in off of Preston Road. They're improving those lines. They're putting poles in today, so that should help improve. When you're talking about your physical building, I think that's something that the EDC is still researching. How in turn is it funded, and what's going to be done in the future to make sure that we have sustainable power as far as what we can control. Yeah, so streets, I think that's something that should go out to the community as far as what we want done. I don't think I want to see anything done with the pavers themselves. This in turn, I'm not sure exactly how historic this is. I would love to bring the pavers to this side. If in turn we're going to redo the streets, we talk about having to connect in different stormwater and those kind of things. I would love to extend the pavers to this area all the way to Louisiana. So what our square ultimately is, I would love to see that decorative long term. In the downtown master plan that was adopted in 2019, that is the future, but that decision hasn't been made.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, coming over here with another question.
As a resident of Celina for over 30 years, this will be my first time to vote in city elections. I am here. I was surprised in doing my research that we'd like to brag about Celina now being 60,000 people. It's my surprise when we have 18,000 actual registered voters in Celina. And how many showed up at the last election? 2,000. Does anybody have any ideas or anything to get the rest of the people that actually can vote in Celina to get out and express their vote? Does anybody have any ideas?
Actually, can I kind of take that one on? Let me tell you how you get people. You give them free sandwiches and music. I think that helps a little bit. It helps a little bit. All right, anybody want to tackle that? Anybody have an idea?
I think it's a great question, and it applies to voting, and it also applies to shopping and where we spend our money. And, you know, our motto is life connected, and I think downtown's pretty connected. There's a lot of shared opinions. I think all of us up here pretty much have similar opinions on protecting the charm of downtown. But where we're missing is the majority of the growth is south of Punk Park. That's where the developments are, the new housing. I've heard estimates upwards of 70% of the new residents, and they are connected to Prosper. They're shopping at the gates of Prosper. All the tax dollars are going to Prosper. So life connected. I think that city council, the mayor, everyone needs to collaborate, communicate, involve the citizens, whether it's town halls or open communications. And how do we draw that crowd back into putting their base, their voting, their time, and believing in? My first year that I lived here, my driver's license said Prosper, and I didn't know I was a Celina resident. Now, I'm somebody who's chosen to get really involved. I serve on the EDC. I love the community. I'm involved with downtown, and I didn't even know where I lived. How many more people are in that same situation? So although I might not be as specific as you're looking for, the starting ground is taking initiatives to let the people south of Punk Carter know that you live in Celina, and Celina has a lot to offer. Voting, spending, shopping, and participating.
Alrighty, I have a question that I want to ask you guys as well. As Celina continues to grow rapidly, the city is seeing a significant shift in its demographic makeup, including an influx of families relocating through corporate transfers and H-1B visa sponsorships tied to the DFW economic corridor. How do you plan to ensure that city services, community programming, and representation on boards and commissions reflect the evolving diversity of Celina's population? And what role should the council play in fostering an inclusive environment as the city scales?
Anybody want to tackle that big one?
I'll start with it. You know, when it comes with the H-1Bs, I will tell you that I am in support of our current federal legislation, which has gone from a lottery system to a more of a merit or weighted based system. I'm in favor of the increased fees to get here, and I'm in favor of the increased wage demand. I think that's going to help limit. I'm also in favor right now, and for the city of Celina to follow course with Greg Abbott's 2006 initiative, which has put a freeze on new applications for public universities and for state jobs. I think that should carry over to Celina for the time being. On the state level, it goes until May of 2007 with the possibility to extend. And this is not to alienate anybody, but it's let's regroup. Let's get grounded. But I'll tell you the one thing I don't stand for, and the one thing that really bothers me, is the aggressive, negative, especially anti-Indian talk on Facebook and stuff. I think we need to be tough on the policies, not on the people.
Okay, anybody else up there want to weigh in on that at all?
Yeah, I think that Celina, at its core of who we are as people, are incredibly inclusive people. I think we like to learn from each other. I think we like to know each other, and we like to know our neighbors. I think that when it comes to the visas, it's important that fair housing laws are being followed, that it's not that everybody's following the same rules one way or another. So yes, I also agree. I appreciate the fact that it's not just an influx of people that are coming in and it's a lower rate, it's what is it, $10,000 or $100,000 more? What did they change it to make it equal and fair? But I think that I agree. I think the inclusion of us all understanding each other's cultures, that is the most human central part of who we are as people. And so I support us all knowing each other better in that way and everybody being held to the same account.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else? No? Okay, so here's what I want to do real quick. I just want to kind of do a little sidebar real quick. Our entertainment today has been this amazing couple right back here. This is Allie, this is Dalton. You want to say a few words?
Hi, my name is Allie Seeley, and this is my husband, Dalton Elliott. And we both moved to Celina, Texas from Nashville, Tennessee about a year ago.
Hey, thank you all for having us today. We appreciate it. We try. No, we just want to say we're really glad to be a part of this community and for all the support that you guys have shown us. And we look forward to many more years here. So thank you.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Is there anybody else that has any last questions? Something that just popped into your mind? Nothing? Anything? Okay, right here. Got maybe a couple more.
You had mentioned that a lot of the people who are Celina residents are not aware that they're Celina residents and they have that connection to Prosper. And we see a lot of development going into the shops at Legacy or the gates of Prosper and things like that. So with the development that we have seen in Frisco, is that a model for Celina to follow, to modify, or to avoid, and why? That's for city council and mayor, yes.
Well, I'll start. Yeah, I think on some level, the Frisco model is attractive. Our build out for Celina is probably going to be about 370,000 people. As we move towards that, we're going to need to certainly develop the commercial corridors that we have and bring in corporate campuses and headquarters for large employers. So you want to get to the point where 35 to 40% of your tax base is from that, and that in turn reduces the amount of tax burden on individuals. Currently in Celina, I think we're at 10% sales tax, so we need to get that up to the 35 to 45%, and we're only going to do that if we develop that type of commercial and corporate presence in the city. So sure, I mean, you could look at Frisco and say, well, I don't want, don't Frisco my Celina or whatever. But I think that, we'll make our own decisions and our own choices, and Celina will be true to our roots and our legacy and our spirit. But I do think when you take a look just at the numbers and the way growth needs to happen, that Frisco has certainly done a very good job in their identity, which won't be ours, but it's certainly something to look at.
Very good. Somebody else want to? Thank you.
I think the from development, yes, we don't want one in Frisco or Salina, but the development's going to happen. The landlords that own the actual land along both the actual toll road and Preston are going to actually develop it. We're going to see the shopping centers. I think there is trying to keep the unique mix of the Salina stores and not just have the same cookie cutter stores and developments as actually everyone else.
Okay, I'm going to try and impress Dr. Tom here, our superintendent. I think when you look at Frisco, I think they did something right in their small school model, in the sense of they in turn wanted to keep that student to teacher ratio very small. I think as we look at Celina and how we're growing, Frisco from 2000 to 2010 was their highest growing years. They grew at a 250% growth rate. From Celina to 2015 to 2025 has grown from a 536% growth rate. So I think we definitely, as we look at a city and how we're growing, we need to look at the size of our schools and not just be stuck to one specific model. That may be very difficult when we go to hire teachers, but I think it's something we need to look at. Maybe we have to build bigger elementary schools. Maybe we have to build bigger schools because we can't build them fast enough. It's something, the issues we face with roadways, but I think it's something we need to look at school sizes as well.
All right, very good. I've got one more question out here, then we're going to do closing and everybody can do their hang out and then leave thing.
Thanks, sir. This is for the city personnel, just more of a comment, but if anyone wants to address it, I'd appreciate it. We're downtown residents. We've lived in Celina for 15 years. One of the most frustrating exercises of our lives was the permitting and inspection aspect that this city requires. And if it hadn't been for Mayor Tubbs, who unfortunately had to get involved in multiple instances, unfortunately, it seems like many personnel and inspections and permitting, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And I'm not trying to be critical, but there are literally contradictions in the codes in this city. And I know there's several people in this room that have experienced the same thing. How do you plan, council members and mayoral candidates, to address that with the growth that you've all mentioned is coming in? Because I'm glad I have short hair, because I would have pulled it all out, man, and women.
So I 100% agree with you. Taylor and I own a construction company. We go through the development process at least once a year with other small businesses and other homeowners. We just did it downtown with another homeowner. I can tell you right now that I know exactly the pain that you're going through. And I think whenever I talk about making things easier for our residents, it's things like that. I think that there are so many ways to dig into what is actually the right hand and the left hand situation. There are a lot of things that we basically point out consistently. There are some really great people who do understand that there's some gray areas and it's not always black and white. And it's less of the I gotcha element and more of the how can we help you get there. And I think by getting the staff to understand that we as council want to be a city of how can we help you, it feels less of I gotcha. And when people are playing I gotcha, everything seems to fall apart. And so to me, it's taking what we've learned and what we've gone through for 5 years. I've gone through it every year and seen things get progressively worse, bringing things that I'm experiencing firsthand to the staff, and then also a mindset change on how we can be more helpful and not catching. That makes sense.
I agree with Katie. We refurbished our business, the Hughes building. And there were a lot of challenges there. And we also remodeled a 1912 house downtown. So not as much as Katie and Taylor, but we certainly have experience with it. And it's never been adversarial with the city. It's really just communication and, right hand, left hand, all that stuff. And it's not something that I could, put my finger on right now, but I think from a directional standpoint, as city council and talking with the city, if we get continuity in what's required, and so that whether you're redoing a building or redoing your house, it's very plain to you. You've got a playbook of exactly what needs to happen, when that has to happen, and who has to approve. So I think that we can do better on that, and it's something that certainly needs to focus. It's a good question.
Very good. Anybody else?
Owning an actual construction business, I go through the same thing. We had a permit to put an actual an actual fire department required device on a gate. It took us 60 days to get the permit to install a lock on a gate. And I think all this boils down to one main thing that needs to be done is a single point of contact for issues and concerns to be flown through to get them routed to the correct place, as well as an actual specific checklist of things, so that what is expected of you would know.
All right. Anybody else up there want to speak to that?
I think part of what we've done is we switched new software recently. I think you got caught up in a little bit of that. And so we rolled it out residentially first before we roll it out commercially. I think as far as city staff and we operate at a policy level and working with them, I think we want to give them the tools that's necessary. But when you talk about maybe, I think we intentionally and unintentionally, it may be good to make it more difficult to, okay, how do we prioritize our residents downtown? How do we prioritize our businesses? But at the same point in time, we hear a lot of the complaints from developers, from home builders, in the sense of it's taking a long time to get their plans reviewed. Well, that actually slows growth. It allows us to keep up with infrastructure. So it can be a positive, but it can be a negative when you're looking at it from a personal homeowner standpoint. So I think we definitely need to prioritize that intake process and make sure that everybody's treated fairly, but at the same point in time, make sure that our commercial tax base is keeping up with our residential.
All right, very good. We're gonna do closing. I would call it closing arguments, but we'll do closing statements instead. And let's just do this, guys. How about a round of applause for all of our candidates? I have been right where they're sitting a couple of times in my distant past, and it's never fun going through a campaign and all of the politics that are involved. And so much respect to each and every one of you for that. And thank you for your time up here today. Let's do 1 minute. 1 minute, shorter if you can say what you need to say. Let's do 1 minute closing in, and per someone's request out here, if you would state your name again and what you're running for.
Yeah, Ryan Tubbs, Celina Mayor. I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody else. You're not only putting yourself out there, you're putting your family out there when you run for public office. For those of you who don't know, it is an unpaid volunteer position. So that can be definitely challenging with the amount of time you put and balancing that act. But I love giving back to the community. I think I have a servant's heart. I've appreciated being able to lead the city over the past 3 years. It's something that I look forward to doing another 3 years. I think in building a city, but also building relationships between private investment as well as other city council members. It's something that I'm passionate about, ensuring that we're doing it the right way for our children and our children's children.
Thank you.
My name's Eric Becker, running for Celina Mayor. Said at my opening, we've been here 20 years. We got involved right off the bat, and I truly just want to actually keep that alive and keep that going. And I think the number one thing that needs to be focused on is just overall quality of life, and that does include everything.
I'm Shane Lambert, running for City Council, Place 5. Who I am as a person, first and foremost, is that my Christian faith guides my moral compass, my decisions, and my way of living my life. Who I am from an education point of view is I have degrees in finance and accounting and behavioral science. Who I am from an education point of view is, did my education from a work perspective as a longtime restaurateur, and then in the alcohol and drug recovery sector. I believe that I have a true servant heart. I have the experience in education that matters, and then serving 2 years on the Economic Development Corporation, I've been a part of shaping the development, making decisions and making hard choices. And I'm also a very independent thinker, and I'm not afraid to say no. I think right now there's going to be a lot of instances where we say yes to things, but it's going to take someone strong to stand up and say, no, that's not good for that entity or for the city, to make good, calculated decisions that will provide the future for our children. Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate Ron and Encore, the musicians, Ali and Dalton, and everybody up here. Thank you for here, and for everyone that showed up. Thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you, Ron, and everyone up here and all of y'all here. I'm Brent Beatty, running for City Council Place 5. how fortunate are we to live in this community? And it's so exciting what has happened in the build-up in the last 10 years or so, and the future ahead of us. I want to be a part of that. What I bring to the table is I'm a West Point graduate. I'm a former combat officer. I've had positions of influence in Fortune 100 companies, and I'm a small business owner here in Celina. What I bring to the table is critical thinking, common sense, and I make good decisions. So I hope that you will vote for me. I look forward to meeting and talking with more of you. Thank you again for coming, and I appreciate your vote.
Appreciate everybody coming out and spending their this Saturday with us. And my name is Shay Scott. I am running for place 4. One of the things that I think really makes me qualified is my leadership and my service to the city of Celina over the 15 years that I was with the police department. And back 6 years ago, I believe that the council was not, the moral compass was not pointed in the right direction for everybody. And we made strides. I helped Ryan Tubbs on his campaign, and other people become elected and worked hard to get them into the positions that they're in. And I think the council now is hands down pointed in the right direction and doing so much better than what we were doing 6 years ago. And my goal is to continue that leadership, not trying to change, everything that has happened or reversing. I just want to keep us pointed in that same direction, that progress.
Thanks, Shane.
Go for it.
Katie Dunn, also place 4. I am, I'm a local business owner. I am a mother. I'm a downtown resident. But more than anything, I am a woman of action. I don't do a lot of lip service. When I say things need to happen, I'm here. I make it happen. I get people involved. And I think when you're on council, sometimes it's like there's only 12 meetings a month, and those need to be impactful meetings where things are happening. And that's what I do, is I make things happen. So I'd be honored to have anybody's vote. And I really appreciate you guys putting this on for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Erin Norris, and I'm don't vote for her. Don't vote for her. Vote for Erin Norris. I'm Erin Norris, place 4 for Celina ISD School Board. I'm running on faith, family, and accountability. I love this community. This is a real pinch me moment for me. I grew up here. I graduated from here. My children might not attend school in the district, but you won't tell them that they don't bleed orange. They do. Last year, I was nominated as Parent of the Year for Celina Parks and Rec. Every peer of mine that voted for me knew I homeschool kids. Children are the most important thing, and if they're not, we need to redirect that. But children are truly the most important thing to me, and it would be an honor to represent them in this community.
Thank you. One, maybe 2 notes totally off campus. Ron, you're going to love this.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble, y'all.
No, you're going to be apathy voters. You said 2,000. That's for that side of the room. This side of the room, we don't get 2,000. Questions that came out of this audience today. That side of the room, 80%. This side of the room, 20%. Our kids are the most important thing we have. If we can't get people to focus on our kids, what are we doing? I just want us to think about that, okay? I heard Erin speak. I'm right there with her. I'm not a Bobcat. I have 2 Bobcats. I love this town. I love what we do. I have the skill set from a corporate level to take us through the growth that we're going through. But I want you to know I will do everything possible for our kids and our district to make it successful.
Thank you.
I'm Vicki Hogue, and I'm running for school board place 3. Cameron left, and he's also running for school board place 3. I point that out because I really need people to know we're not running against each other. We're running for something. We're running for the students and how we can really impact them. It's funny because as soon as you said that, I was like, well, you should see who's not voting for school board. And we talk a lot about accountability, but I don't see it when I go to school board meetings or when I go to those meetings where Dr. Tom or your administrators are giving us the opportunity to go listen or do surveys. You're not seeing that show up. So if we want accountability, I always say show up. We show up because it's important to us. It's important to make a difference. You cannot make a difference for students if you are not there and you do not show up.
All right, guys, in closing, if you have not seen yet on thebestofcelina.com, I believe everybody up here has submitted answers to some pretty intensive questions that might be helpful for you. Many up here have sat down with me for a podcast, and those have not been, softball podcasts, but much respect to them for fielding those questions and doing that. So those will be released hopefully starting this evening, but no guarantees on that. A lot of it depends on how the kids' volleyball game goes today. So possibly tomorrow. But anyways, guys, thank you very, very much. For me, Encore, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for the entertainment. And 229 actually gave us the food tonight. So why don't we roll out of here on a very quick prayer, and then you guys are welcome to hang around for 10 or 15 minutes and talk to these guys. But let's close this down the right way. Lord, we love you, praise you, and thank you for everything that you have brought together today, and hope that, it is your purposes that we always focus on, and help us always remember that even though we get out here and we have these stupid little scraps in town and we feel very passionately about what we believe in, that we always have it in our heart for the other person that we might not necessarily always agree with. Let politics never tear us apart, but instead be a reason for us to come together. Lord, in the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. All right, thank you, guys.